this project, which is a stack of papers to your eyes right now. This is called Prime Territory, and it was my thesis project. It's essentially an accordion-fold book, but it's got 9 miniature stories in there. And it's, I guess it's my version of a Western. It's my travels with my parents growing up, when they used to go from small town to small town and open up small Chinese restaurants. This story focuses on my youth, from childhood to, I would say, 16. So it's very specific. It's got 9 stories in there, and they're what are known as miniatures because they're very short and brief. It's ways to tell a story very fast, but also to try to give it a real impact immediately, you know? When I presented it in the Sullivan Galleries, a lot of people saw it in the form of an open book that also acted as a screen surface. And this animation that I had made called Flood was also edited with the footage from Red River, which is this old Howard Hawks 1968 Western. So it was a merging of my sense of the Western with, you know, like a pre-existing filmic model, and my own animating of this cattle herd that exists within this book. When I thought about how to tell the story, I decided that I felt, you know, when a lot of Chinese parents, you hear about the tiger mother, you know, like they're always about having their kids on the schedule and also having these fears about how their kids will grow up. And I think when I was younger, my mom had this really amplified sense of it because she's an immigrant. So she didn't have English as her primary language. And for her, it was really difficult to raise kids in that type of environment where you can't speak to other authority figures the same way, and you lose your authority with them as they're growing up. And so when I was thinking visually about this, how do you tell a story that is an immigrant story? How do you encompass travel and distance, but also control and behavior? I thought that, you know, like this idea of a domain, the raising cattle domain, is really good. So when it comes to, you know, like my thesis work or something, that's something that I think transcends merely design. That, you know, is self-generated work. It's written by me, it's produced by me, it's designed by me, and a lot of it, you know, is something that designers aren't perceived to do. But I'd like to try my hand in a bigger agency and see how that works. And, you know, like there are thoughts about one day being a creative director as a possibility. I would also like to teach in college one day too. I say grad school is a time where you don't have to worry about the outside world. You don't have to worry, or shouldn't have to worry about finances. What you have to think about is, what do you want to do now in these 2 years that will fulfill you and lead you in a direction for the rest of your life? And who are the people that are key individuals that will propel you forward? Who are the friendships that will sustain you as you go through this phase of discovery? So make the most of your journey.